flamingo has died. Don Featherstone was a classically trained painter, sculptor, and artist. He modeled the lawn ornament after photos of flamingos he saw in National Geographic. The Dow is up 15. The NASDAQ is up a fraction. Tanya Hansen, CNBC Radio.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Do you want to learn how to mask your identity to browse inappropriate websites and stream media while at the office?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's web security solutions keep online activity clean and ensure internet bandwidth performance. Reclaim your network, like 150,000 other businesses already have. To learn more about preventing web-based threats, visit barracuda.com/web.
San Bernardino, Loma Linda, Rialto listens to KCAA Radio.
And good afternoon. It is 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the only live local news here in the Inland Empire on KCAA 1050 AM. Costs to fight the lake fire in the San Gorgonio Wilderness have hit $6.8 million. Most of the fire's 17,405 acres are not contained, but it is at 30%, and it is spread to the northeast flank, and it's been stopped in that area. The fire lines are on the northwest perimeter, and they're being reinforced. The fire has not spread from the 10,000-foot ridge, but elsewhere, burning logs rolling downhill into dense dry vegetation has spread the fire. The dense smoke is attributed to large logs and dead trees burning within the fire perimeter. Most of the area has not burned in more than a century. Evacuations remain in place and keep the area clear for the firefighters and heavy equipment working on the containment along Highway 38. CAL FIRE has responded to nearly 2,500 wildfires statewide so far this year, a 50% increase compared to just an average year. Amid dry drought conditions, there were over 270 new wildfires just last week. And a man has finally been arrested in the April 28th killing of a Big Bear man and is being held for arraignment today. John Simmons, 40, of Big Bear Lake, has been suspected shortly after George Michael Kovacevic, 33, was found dead in his home a month and a half ago. But charges were not filed until last Friday. Sheriff's investigators allege the two men had a discussion trading stolen guns. An argument ensued and Kovacevic shot the suspect, Simmons. Simmons returned the fire, killing Kovacevic. Simmons then took the stolen guns along with the victim's ID, and he fled the scene only to return hours later in attempts to burn down the house. Simmons is being charged with burglary, attempted arson, destruction of evidence, and possession of stolen property. And Frank Sinatra's compound in Palm Springs that he helped design in 1967 is now up for sale. He's named it Villa Maggio after a character in the film From Here to Eternity. He resided at the rustic estate for 12 years. According to the real estate listing, the compound has 3 buildings perched in a craggy hilltop surrounded by boulders and exquisite views. Built with warm woods, a local stone, and 7 fireplaces in the main house. It has a dining room, living room, den, 2 kitchens, 5 bedrooms, and 6 bathrooms. It is currently going for $3.95 million. Inland Empire weather, sunny and hot once again today. Highs into the mid-90s, overnight lows 62. Currently, we are at about 88 degrees here in San Bernardino. Looking at your traffic, Highway 38 still and going to be closed for a while in both directions, east and westbound up in the Big Bear area. Jinx Lake Road to 7 Oaks Road. And other than that, you've got the accident still in Corona on the 15 southbound just before the 91 freeway. That was a big rig that is blocking 2 left lanes. They dropped a load of dirt, and so traffic is very, very slow getting around in that area. Possible alternate route is to take the Cantu Galliano to Milliken South, which turns into Hamner, and then Main Street, and then get on the 91 from there. Also in Banning, an accident in the left lane on the 10 eastbound just after Hargrave Street. And traffic is jammed from just before 8th Street. That is the latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Fridays just got fabulous. Don't forget to reserve a seat in the Happy Hour Lounge with Ben and Alexander every Friday at 6 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. Thank you for joining us. It's a free call at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Brian starts this hour off in Boulder, Colorado. Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Love the show. Thanks for taking my call. How you doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. Thank you. How can I help?
Cool. I'm currently doing my debt snowball, and I'm at the point of paying off my student loan of $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a toss-up right now between, I know your debt snowball would say pay off the $20,000, but my wife has a car loan. It's $27,000 at a higher interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to get your take on that.
Okay, so you have $47,000 in debt left to pay.
Mm-hmm.
How much have you paid so far?
We just started, so I paid about $3,000.
Okay. What's your household income?
About $100,000.
Okay. So how long do you think it's going to take you to pay $47,000?
I was planning on 2 to 3 years.
Okay. I'd say 2's max. That's $23,000 a year, $24,000 a year with interest. And making $100,000, you should be able to pay more than $24,000 a year, really. $2,000 a month. That's the schedule I want you on, or in excess of $2,000 a month every month until you attack this. Here's the thing: the interest rate on the car is what?
The interest rate on the car is 8.5, and my student loan is 6.5.
Okay, so we're talking about a 2% spread on $20,000, which is $400.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire discussion here.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. $400 is not your problem. $50,000 is your problem. You follow me?
Yep.
So you're overanalyzing it, is my point. Just pay off the student loan as fast as you can, and then pay off your car loan as fast as you can. And you consider selling that car?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too.
I don't think you have to. How much is your car worth?
I still owe, my car's worth probably $7,000.
Okay. And you said I still owe. Do you owe money on it?
Yeah, I owe $5,000. I'm paying that off this next month, though.
Okay, so that's why you weren't including it in the discussion. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, your cars are not over half your annual income, and you can be debt-free, everything except the house, inside of 2 years. So you meet the guideline to keep the car if you'd like to keep the car. It's just you need to understand you're going to be on beans and rice and have a limited lifestyle in order to be able to keep this car for about a 2-year period of time, 18 months to 2 years.
Okay.
And that's the price you pay to keep that car, and be wise, that is. We still want your face under the wise column. When we look under the wise column, we want to see your face. So if don't drag this out a dime more than 2 years, and go ahead and knock out the student loan first. Do the smallest debt first, the second largest debt next. And here's the thing: the car is going to be paying down anyway during that 2 years, a lot just by paying the payment. And so I want you to pay at least $2,000 total on these two debts every month, minimum. And you'll be done in at least 2 years. That's the plan. Thanks for the call. John is with us, also in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, John. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Sure, man. What's up?
All right. So I'm getting married at the end of August.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I got a little thing that came out of my fiance's closet. She's in debt for about $120,000.
Big closet.
Yeah. We started talking about finances, and a couple months ago, she, everything's pretty much up to date with her. We were able to pay off our student loans and all that within the last year. But I guess she has $120,000 in debt from a deficit from a foreclosure house that she bought a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when did you learn of this?
I want to say it's been about 2 months now.
How long have you been engaged?
We've been engaged since last September.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how have you all dealt with the fact that she did not bring this up before now? If I'm in your shoes, that'd be more bothersome than the debt.
Oh, well, yeah, we discussed this a little bit. Obviously I was kind of furious. I'm actually, pulling back a lot here, and we're having a pretty decent wedding size, and a lot has gone into this, a lot of family members, and a lot of good friends. But now I'm thinking, I don't know what's going to go on here. I actually own a condo, and I'm kind of scared in the sense that if I get married to her, I'm going to be linked to this debt as well.
No, you're not linked to the debt personally, technically, legally, but you married the girl. It's like saying it's like saying she's got cancer, and you say, "Well, I don't want to get cancer by marrying her." No, but you're marrying somebody with cancer, so you get cancer. That's how it works, and that comes with the territory. That's right. That's the deal, and you know that now, and so all right. Here's the thing. Number one cause of divorce in North America today is money fights and money problems. Yeah. I hear a lot of uncertainty in the way you are verbalizing this. The way, you may be just nervous on the radio, but I think it's more than that. I think that this whole thing, you guys really haven't spent a lot of time getting to know each other. I'm going to recommend some detailed, in-depth, very deep, like crack your brain open and spill it out on the table, marriage counseling. Pre-marriage counseling. Today. You go this week.
We're involved in our church. That's where we met through our church choir. So, we definitely have a pastor with us. And, this was brought up a little while ago. We're discussing things. We've known each other for close to 2 years, so it wasn't like just right off the bat. But
yeah, it was. She didn't tell you about it. It was just off the bat. I mean, you were engaged for several months before this comes up, and it's left you uncertain, and now you're stammering and stuttering about what we're spending on the wedding. 2 months before the wedding? Too late, dude. The invitations have gone out.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, you're locked in on this wedding. The wedding's a done deal. You just have to show up now. So here's the thing. You guys really need to lock in and make sure with your pastor that you guys are getting a very comfortable understanding of where you are with your finances, and more importantly, that we're going to never hide anything ever again.
All right, yeah, no, we're on that track. I just had a quick question, Dave, but, she's getting letters from the debt collector.
Yeah, you should be able to settle this for about 10 cents on the dollar.
They're talking about suing her now.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, they're talking about it, but it's been how many years?
It's been close to 3 now.
Yeah, so they're not in too big a hurry on the lawsuit. I wouldn't roll up my hands and sweat about it. But, you're going to need to scrap together some money, and, you can probably settle $120,000 with them for about $15,000, $20,000. 10, 20 cents on the dollar, something like that will probably settle this. And because deficits on foreclosures don't get collected very often. You start waving something with a comma in it at them, they're going to look at it real hard. And that's the direction I would go. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello, everyone. This is Nina MD, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Listen to my show every Wednesday night, 6 p.m., Kcaa 1050, where I'm going to give you the latest, greatest on anti-aging.
This is KCAA.
Art Bell is back, and he's coming to KCAA.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That life had been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is something here that defies logical explanation.
Tune into the best, Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell.
The only way you're going to get the American people to pony up the billions of dollars, however many hundreds of billions it would be to go to Mars, the only way you're going to get them to do that is to convince them that we have a real reason to go.
Want to take a ride?
Coming soon. Weeknights at midnight on KCAA, 1050 AM.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. Drilling into metal isn't all that difficult, but knowing a few basics before you start the job will make it go more smoothly. First, be sure to wear safety goggles, not glasses, when you're drilling into metal. They help keep any tiny flecks of metal from getting into your eyes. Use a vise or clamps to hold the metal in place. Before picking up your drill, use a center punch to create a small dimple where you're planning to drill. That'll keep your bit from drifting. The dimple doesn't need to be big, just large enough to keep the bit in place. As you drill, keep a little light motor oil in the hole to help with lubrication and to keep the bit from overheating. One more tip. Don't try to rush the job by applying too much pressure on the drill and running it at top speed. You'll achieve better control and end up with a more accurate and cleaner cut if you use moderate pressure and keep the drill at half speed. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Listen to AM 1050 KCAA. It makes people wonder what you're up to.
My next mistake, love's a game, wanna play.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. You can follow me on Twitter at Dave Ramsey if you'd like. From Lori on Twitter, do you know of any reputable online jobs for a second income? No. There probably are. I just don't know them. Probably the best thing I know to do online would be some kind of a self-employed game plan, which is where you're making something and you're selling it on an eBay store or on Etsy or something like that. That would be the closest thing to an online thing that I would know. Or, of course, you can, I mean, if you have the capability to do programming or something like that and you want to contract out, or you do graphic artists, you want to contract out your time that way, your service online, that's an easy online thing to do. That's not, obviously doesn't involve a hard product. So, but in terms of business in a box stuff, meaning you buy something from someone and it's an instant business, you just add water, Most of that stuff is crap. Most of it's just junk, okay? It's not real. I remember the old one back in the old days. It was hilarious. It was a complete scam. They'd have it in the back of magazines. It's probably still out there floating around. I haven't seen it in a while. Licking envelopes. To work from home scam. And they supposedly send you envelopes, and you would seal the envelopes. This was your job. Did that not make your tongue just stick to the roof of your mouth when I told you that? And you have this yucky taste in your mouth right now, all of you, thinking about licking 5,000 envelopes, as if they don't make a machine that simply wets that and seals it at 5,000 a second. Instead, they're going to have some stay-at-home mom lick envelopes. How stupid are we? But people would actually pay for the business idea and the connection to supposedly be sent envelopes to lick, seal, and send back. Envelope licking. I swear to... I mean, the only thing dumber is to send your money to a Nigerian prince. I mean, really. It's just a complete scam. So... Oh, my gosh. Wow. Envelope licking. I hadn't even thought about that one in a while. But a lot of this business in a box stuff, that's what we call it, or business add water stuff. All you have to do is just order this kit, and you'll be suddenly doing this. And you, of course, pay them for all the connections and the process, and it's like a little miniature licensing, franchising deal. And, of course, it's not. So that's mostly what this stuff is. But are there some legitimate things? Sure. Absolutely, I'm sure there are. But you'd really, really, really have to inspect. The most legitimate things are something you find yourself. They don't find you. But if you type in work from home on Google, oh, my gosh, will you get some crazy stuff. Yeah, completely crazy stuff. Scammable. Tyler's with us in Kansas City. Hi, Tyler. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure, man. What's up?
Well, I just recently started listening to you about a month or so ago. And I've kind of been working through my baby steps, and I just want your advice on some student loan debt. I owe Miss Sally Mae about $35,000, $34,000, and I've already funded my IRA, fully funded it this year, my Roth. And I just kind of need to know what I should do. I've got my emergency fund already fully maxed.
How much is in it?
I'm comfortable with it. $25,000.
Okay, good. And what do you make a year?
About around $100.
Okay, good. Well, and this is your only debt, is Sally Mae?
I have a house payment too.
Yeah, but other than your home, is this your only debt other than Sally Mae?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, you just started listening to us, apparently, right?
Yes.
Okay. We teach a thing that we've learned, Tyler, over 25 years of doing financial coaching, that if you will do one step at a time, you make progress. When you try to do 6 things at once, nothing moves. And that's what you're experiencing. Right. You've tried to do 6 things at once. We teach baby step 1. The first thing you should do is save $1,000. You've done that. The second is a little starter, minimum, miniature emergency fund. Then you should become debt-free except your home. As soon as you've done that, then you would build your emergency fund in baby step 3 to 3 to 6 months of household expenses. And only after you've done that would you go to baby step 4 and put 15% of your income into retirement. So, were you to apply that to your situation, it would sound like this. Don't put any more money in retirement until your student loan is gone, and take $24,000 of your $25,000 and put it on your student loan today, and then roll up your sleeves and sell so much stuff the kids think they're next. Get on beans and rice, rice and beans. You don't need to see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there until you get this student loan paid off. You got to get focused, intense, and crazy. Because it would scare me to death to make $100,000 a year and only have $1,000 in the bank. Wouldn't that scare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could sleep at night.
Yeah. I don't want you sleeping much. I want you working a lot. Because until the student loan's gone. Because here's the problem. You've been out of debt. You've been out of school for how long?
5 years.
So we have proven you cannot wander out of debt.
Right.
The only way you get out of debt, you punch it in the nose repeatedly until it goes down and taps out. Sally Mae is a wicked old woman. You need to give her your eviction notice.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's how you get out of debt. This is how Dave Ramsey has gotten more people out of debt in America than anybody else. It's because I figured out that when you get mad about this or scared about this enough, you will move your butt and get this mess cleaned up. But while you're trying to do emergency funds and Roth IRAs and piddle along with this student loan, here you sit with this thing looking at you and it's mocking you. Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
Okay. So I don't know that you'll do the $25,000 thing right off the bat. It's probably going to take you a little while to quit hyperventilating after this phone call. But it wouldn't me if I were in your shoes, dude. This guy just smacked you. So, but just take your time and think about this. And, you might walk into it. You might say, I'm going to throw $10,000 a day at it to prove I'm serious. Okay. I'm going to sit down and jump online at everydollar.com and use our free online budgeting tool and lay out of your $100,000 and figure out how much you can squeeze out of this. Because I'm really not asking you to walk around with $1,000 in the bank for very long. Because seriously, if we throw $24,000 at the $35,000, that leaves me $11,000. You make $100,000 a year. I think you can squeeze and be done with that in just a few months.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like, by Christmas, we're aggressively rebuilding your $1,000 back up to your $25,000, which is a good emergency fund. It's about 3 to 6 months of expenses, and you're back up there then. But you need to look around. Let's have a big garage sale. Let's put the cat on Craigslist, the dog on eBay, man. Let's get some stuff going here and get this thing moving. And that's how you do this. So that's the approach I would use, and I have used. I can. Well, you've proven it. You're a smart guy. Stupid people don't make $100,000 a year. Not many of them, anyway. And so you're a smart guy. And in 5 years, you've not reduced your student loan debt. Not appreciably. So we're still sitting there with that thing. Sally Mae's just got her thumb in your nose at you right now. She's just mocking you. The old woman with no teeth is mocking you. That's why you need to look at your student loan. And she just needs to be abused. Sally does. So that's she needs to be kicked out of the house. Eviction notice. Set your furniture on the curb where other people come and pick out through your stuff like a bunch of buzzards. That's what you need to do, Sally Mae. And that's the only thing that works. So I'm going to challenge you to get some passion about this and some focus about this and try those steps. Hold on. I'm going to have Kelly pick up. She's going to send you a copy of our #1 New York Times best-selling book, The Total Money Makeover. And we'll get you going there. That book has now been on the New York Times over 200 weeks. Isn't that bizarre? And we're getting ready to have our 5 millionth Total Money Makeover book. We need to do a celebration. We ought to have a celebration, something about 5 million somethings. 5 million anything is a lot. That's a lot of books. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you buying that book. It's been a big, hairy deal. We appreciate it. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
KCAA.
California headline news. Fire crews busy around the state battling several wildfires thanks to the dry conditions that allow the flames to advance.
We're in the fourth year of a prolonged drought. The reality is that the brush and the trees and the timber are dry, extremely dry.
Carlos Guerrero with CAL FIRE near the scene of the lake fire in the San Bernardino Mountains. It's 25% contained and has burned nearly 18,000 acres. There was property destroyed by fire in Santa Clarita, a fatal car crash sparking a fire in Malibu. You may have seen the pictures of what a Compton man claimed was a fried rat that he claimed was served up by a KFC restaurant. Now KFC officials say they have the lab results.
KFC says it has sent that fried specimen to a third-party independent lab, which has confirmed it was definitely a piece of white meat chicken, not a rodent.
Correspondent Alex Stone. Geico weather, more dry, warm conditions around the state, slightly cooler in the southern region of the state later today. Jeff Scott, California News.
Here's a crazy idea from Cash Call Mortgage. Take the mortgage you closed in the last year and look at redoing it at today's 15-year fixed 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 877-890-CASH, and with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you how much your payment could drop with the do-over refi. And you won't pay any points, deposits, or fees. None. It's so easy. Just do the regular paperwork, most of which you already did for your last refi, and we'll do the rest. So make the cash call at 877-890-CASH for today's 15-year fixed 2.99% rate and APR with absolutely no closing costs. The do-over refi, only from Cash Call Mortgage. Call 877-890-CASH and see for yourself.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Rates may change without notice. California Department of Business Oversight. Residential Mortgage Lender Law License 4131083. NMLS 128231.
That's 877-890-CASH.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
This is KCAA.
This is Scientific American's 60-Second Science. I'm Steve Mirsky. Got a minute?
One of the aspirations in the letter is between now and 2030 to cut by 2/3 maternal mortality.
Dr. Susan Desmond-Hellmann is CEO of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. On January 26th, she spoke with Scientific American about the goals the International Philanthropic Foundation put forth in its just-released annual letter.
This has been an area that's so important and so challenging. It is essential to think about all aspects of that. For example, one of the areas that the foundation is now funding is family planning, so that a woman, or a young woman in particular, can decide when she wants to become pregnant, that's a decision she can make, and she can space her children. And so I think it starts with that. We also have a big focus on nutrition. So a mom having a good nutritional status when she's pregnant, again, very helpful. And then again, working with local groups with ministries of health to make sure that a woman can deliver at a facility where things are there available should she need the kind of care that having the baby at home wouldn't enable her to have.
For the full conversation between Gates Foundation CEO Susan Desmond-Hellmann and Scientific American Editor-in-Chief Mariette DiChristina, look on our website for the upcoming Science Talk podcast. Thanks for the minute. For Scientific American's 60-Second Science, I'm Steve Mirsky.
It's time for some Dillylicious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best Dillylicious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all Dillylicious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty Dillylicious sub sandwich, or simply Dilly-lightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station, all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
My next mistake, love's a game, wanna play.
Now.
lobby of Ramsey Solutions. Chris and Chelsea are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great,
oh my
Dave.
gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
So excited.
We are so honored to have you. Where you guys live?
We're in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, fun. Very cool. And you're here to do your debt-free scream?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love it. How much have you paid off?
We paid off $118,000 and $200.
Way to go. And how long did it take you to do that?
About 23 months.
Wow, that's fast. Making what kind of income?
We started at 100 and ended at about 150.
Way to go. What do you guys do for a living?
Well, that's just it, Dave. We're ordinary people. I work for the post office. She's in marketing. But one thing your show teaches people is that ordinary people can do extraordinary things if they're willing to work hard and sacrifice.
Well, 150 is pretty stinking good income. I mean, that's above ordinary. That's excellent. Way to go, you guys.
Thanks.
Very, very fun. How long have you been with the post office?
About 6 years, or 10 years, sorry.
Okay, good, cool. So what kind of debt was this $118,000?
Dave, this was all of our home.
You paid your house off?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Oh!
Yep.
How old are you two?
I'm 30, and Chris just turned 34.
And you have a paid-for house?
Yes.
You are officially weird.
We love it.
You are completely weird. I'm looking at two weirdos from Salt Lake City.
Yep.
I love it. You guys are awesome. What's this house worth?
Conservatively, about $200,000.
I love it. Wow. Do you have any friends that are your age that have their house paid for?
No, we don't. You were thinking about that, like, no.
I was telling you, you're weird. That's it. You are completely, statistically, you're whacked. I love it. In such a good way. I mean, hey, you know, normal's broke. We don't want to be normal. Weird is the greatest.
We like being weird.
Greatest compliment you can get on this show.
Our friends and family tell us that all the time. You guys are weird. I don't know how anyone can do that.
Yeah. How can you do that? How can you do that?
Yeah.
Can't do that. Everybody knows you can't do that.
You guys don't have any fun.
We did it. We did it. Very cool. So what inspired you? Tell me your story. 23 months ago, you get on fire.
Well, about 2 years ago when we started the whole process, you know, we were just being normal. And, you know, when we started it, we thought it would be about a 5-year plan to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently for Chelsea, that wasn't good enough because she decided to go out. I mean, we were already working, you know, I was working 50 hours, 55 hours a week, and she was working at her full-time job. And she decided to go out and get another job.
Oh.
And so she
dip.
was working 70 hours, and I'd get home off of work after putting in a 10-hour day. I'd sit on the couch and watch her over there, you know, working her second job on the computer, and all of a sudden I felt like I wasn't pulling my fair share. I wasn't pulling my weight. So I went out and got another job.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so between the two of us, we were putting in 70-hour weeks. And
what kind of second jobs did you guys have?
Well, I actually did the pizza thing that you recommend.
You deliver pizzas?
I did. I started out delivering pizzas and then worked over at the airport after I got done with that. And she was doing this online thing for Google, working 30 hours doing that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And that paid well then?
Yeah, they did. They did well.
Good. Very good. So with your marketing prowess, you were able to jump into something there. Very good. Very good. Nice part-time jobs. Good plan.
Yeah.
That's what drove that income up and sped this up considerably.
Yeah, that's what did it.
Yep.
And apparently Chelsea is the bookkeeper of the house, the nerd of the house.
Gosh, she refuses to take me to the grocery store. It's annoying. I keep trying to throw things in there without her knowing. But...
Please let me get the real Cheerios. Yeah. I don't want generic Cheerios.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, we used to have that same fight. Oh, you guys are fun. This is great. Man, so what happened that made you believe and know that this could happen, and something lit a fire under you? Tell me the story.
Well, we were both raised pretty well to not go into debt.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when we got married 3 years ago yesterday, actually.
Oh, congratulations.
This is our anniversary trip.
Yeah.
We weren't in debt, and we had healthy savings.
Mm-hmm.
So we were saving more to get a house.
Mm-hmm.
And so we bought that house 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to your show a lot kind of inspired us to actually, you know, pay off our mortgage. You know, we never thought that could be possible. And so that was the difference, was, you know, listening to the show a lot and hearing people pay off their homes. And, you know, we just didn't think that was possible at our age.
So the debt-free screams kind of got you going.
Oh, yeah. And we've been planning on doing this
and
from
now
day
you
one.
are one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's fun.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot lately. There's a new, kind of a new trend. It used to be people were inspired, but it's like the thing that moved them and went. And you know, the lady last hour that did her debt-free scream, as a matter of fact, talked about how the she just listened to every single one of them that we post on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
It had subscribed to it, so it automatically comes to your email box, right? And you just get that one, 2 or 3 times a day. You get watching people. They did it, so we can do it. They did it, so we can do it.
Well, every week that we put paid the mortgage payment, and we saw that extra money going to the mortgage and the balance dropping, it gave us a rush, and it just kind of spiraled out of control at that point.
And that's what inspired second jobs,
Yeah.
and we're like, we don't need to sit here all night and watch TV.
Yeah,
Let's work.
Basically, we looked at the extra time that we had on we looked at the extra time we had on our hands, and we're like, that's opportunity missed. If we're not working, then we're missing out on the opportunity to really go nuts on this thing.
And now we're both working 40 hours, so it's
back
life
down
is
normal.
Great.
Yeah, okay. So you guys seem like you're so in tune, so in sync. Was there one time that you had like the big budget fight?
We're weird, Dave. No.
No,
you didn't.
I mean,
You seem like the ones that wouldn't. I mean, Sharon and I would just throw stuff at each other, but y'all seem like you were just like completely, we're doing this.
We're very blessed that way. When we discovered this when we were dating, that we were on the same page financially. And
big help.
We don't take that for granted.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's very hard for a lot of couples.
Yes.
But you guys are fun. This is great. So if you're going to tell people 1 or 2 keys to getting out of debt, work is one of them. We got to know that because you did that. But we'll set that one aside. An additional 1 or 2 keys, secrets to getting out of debt. What would you tell people?
Sticking to the budget. We're tempted a lot to, go on that weekend getaway or even go to the movies. And, just don't do it. Stick to the budget. And work really hard. And the good thing is we were working so hard we didn't have time to spend money. So it's a twofold thing.
Yeah. Sacrifice and hard work kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, we don't fight much because we were too tired to fight. Yeah. All right, I love it. Chris and Chelsea, they paid off their house at 30 and 34 years old. Man, that's amazing. Salt Lake City, Utah, $118,000 paid off in 23 months, making $100 all the way to $150. But now we hear how they did that. A lot of work. Count it down. Let's hear a great debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! I love it. We'll give that one a 9. Excellent. Good job. Yes. Well, that's screaming like 2 people working 70-hour weeks to get this done. You know what? They got the rest of their life. They're only 30 years old. I mean, you know what you can do when you don't have a house payment? You know what that turns into? If you just invest the house payment, millions of dollars. Millions. Let's just stick it in the calculator. You want to? There's a $200,000 house. Let's make it a $2,000 house payment, just for the fun of it. And let's just say we put that in a decent growth stock mutual fund at 30 years old. And let's come back at 70. I wonder what that's worth. Averaging 12% rate of return? There's no way that's right. It can't be $23 million. That can't be right. I better put that in the calculator again. $2,000. Pay yourself a house payment from 30 to 70 of $2,000 a month. And let's average 1% a month. And let's do that for 40 years, 30 to 70. She's 30. And then let's see here. Let me do it again. 40 years. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see, it says 23 million again. So that just can't be right. So let's cut it. Let's cut it in half. Let's just say it's only 10 million. Oh, I'm way off. Let's say it's 5 million. Shut up! Unbelievable! Change your whole family tree! Folks, don't miss this! There is no reason to retire broke in America today. But they set themselves up to be able to do that. Don't miss these stories, so change your life. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello, everyone. This is Nina MD, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Listen to my show every Wednesday night, 6 p.m., KCAA 1050, where I'm going to give you the latest, greatest on anti-aging.
This is KCAA.
Art Bell is back, and he's coming to KCAA.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That life had been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is something here that defies logical explanation.
Tune into the best, Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell.
The only way you're going to get the American people to pony up the billions of dollars, however many hundreds of billions it would be to go to Mars, the only way you're going to get them to do that is to convince them that we have a real reason to go.
Want to take a ride?
Coming soon. Weeknights at midnight on KCAA, 1050 AM.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. Drilling into metal isn't all that difficult, but knowing a few basics before you start the job will make it go more smoothly. First, be sure to wear safety goggles, not glasses, when you're drilling into metal. They help keep any tiny flecks of metal from getting into your eyes. Use a vise or clamps to hold the metal in place. Before picking up your drill, use a center punch to create a small dimple where you're planning to drill. That'll keep your bit from drifting. The dimple doesn't need to be big, just large enough to keep the bit in place. As you drill, keep a little light motor oil in the hole to help with lubrication and to keep the bit from overheating. One more tip. Don't try to rush the job by applying too much pressure on the drill and running it at top speed. You'll achieve better control and end up with a more accurate and cleaner cut if you use moderate pressure and keep the drill at half speed. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Question of the day comes from Blinds.com. What else do you get at Blinds.com besides stylish window treatments, helpful how-to videos, and a sure-fit guarantee? How about dinner and a movie with any purchase of $2.99 or more during the month of June? Go to Blinds.com/easy for your details. Limit one per household. Amy from Alabama gives us our question. She says, how do I stay patient? We have a 2-year plan to be debt-free and have an emergency fund, but I want it done now. How do I stay on track and focused? Well, to start with, baby step 1 is not a fully funded emergency fund. It is a partial, small, miniature emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Or, I'm sorry, $1,000. You don't do the full 3 to 6 months of expenses at baby step 1. And so anything above $1,000 that you have saved should be thrown at your debt, which will help you with your patience. But 2 years is not bad. That's about normal, by the way. It takes about 2 years for the average person to become debt-free other than their home. And that's the average. That means some people do it faster, some people do it slower. I don't really want you to be satisfied. I want you to be impatient. I don't want you to be kicked back and yawning and thinking this is all okay. I want you to be a little worried, a little fretting, a little fired up, and to where you're like the last couple, you know, they're looking around and she's working, he's not, extra jobs, he takes an extra job. He's not okay sitting around. And so I want you to be impatient. I want you to be impatient, not to the point that you're completely freaked out, but a healthy level of desperation moves the needle. It causes you to move along. and get things done. And that's what I would say. So, yeah, it's a good thing. Selma's in Atlanta. Hi, Selma. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I have a situation here. I received, about 2 weeks ago, a letter for a garnishment. And I had no idea what this garnishment was in reference to. So I went to the courthouse to do some investigating and ordering the file and whatnot, and I found out that it's in reference to an account from 2001 for furniture, which I never received. And so I did a traverse to go to court. I actually went to court today, and I was told that I needed to do a motion. Let me see, what was it? A motion to vacate and set aside judgment or dismissal.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, but the only thing that concerns me now is what is my next step? Do I need to look into getting an attorney for this? This thing that they're trying to garnish me for is $7,000.
Mm-hmm. But you never bought $7,000 worth of stuff from these people.
I never bought anything.
So it's complete fraud.
It's complete fraud. Okay. No one in the paperwork, even in this paperwork, it says that they served someone, which was not me.
Okay.
At some address, which is not my address.
Okay.
And
so you have filed the motion yourself with the court, and they will give you a court date on the hearing for that. Have they done that yet?
No.
Okay. But when that date comes up, then you're going to have to go down and either represent yourself or get an attorney. What do you make a year?
$50,000.
Okay. Here's the way I would play it if it were me, and then you can decide. I would call the attorney representing the furniture store. Okay? And tell them that this is apparently identity theft, and you have filed a motion to go before the judge and have their judgment set aside because they don't have anything with your signature. You did no transaction with this company. It is a completely screwed up deal. And if you, sir, are an attorney with integrity, you will look at this and figure it out and just drop this whole thing. If you do not do that, and I have to hire an attorney, I'm going to come after you and the furniture store because I've now notified you that this is not a valid situation. But I think if you'll talk nice, if the attorney is someone of character, they will at least open the file up and look at it and realize that this is a mistake because, and you say, I'll be happy to come down and meet with you. And if you can go down and meet with their attorney and can convince them that this is identity theft, make this whole thing go away, that's going to be cheaper than you hiring an attorney. But if their attorney is one of these characters that does lawsuits that just does them by the bushel basketful, meaning these lawsuits are like widgets coming off a conveyor line at a factory, and you're just one of those pieces of item coming off the conveyor belt, and you get treated like crap when you call, and they act like you're some kind of crook, and they have an attitude, and they're a bunch of punks, hire an attorney and sue the attorney as well as the furniture store.
Okay.
And sue them for damages, for damaging your credit.
Okay.
Because this has nothing to do with you, and they didn't even serve you. And don't do any of that till you put them on notice and ask them nicely to fix the mess. But you'll find one or the other. Usually you don't find attorneys in the middle. You're either going to find a very professional attorney that's tough, but that will actually have integrity and look at the situation, or you're going to find a punk, a back alley punk. And they understand one thing, a punch in the nose. And you're going to have to hire an attorney to do that punching. But I would try to get, $40,000 or $50,000 out of the attorney, out of his hide, and out of this furniture store if they don't play nice. I'd go after their throat, Selma.
I will do. Let me ask you one more quick question.
Mm-hmm.
This furniture store, investigating, it's Rhodes Furniture Store, which is no longer even existent. Is that going to matter at all?
No, someone bought the debt. Somebody bought the debt. It's an old bad debt, and so whoever owns that is who's suing you. If it's not the furniture store, now you're just going to be going after the owner of the debt for falsely suing you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
And so let me just tell you something. That's bad news in our conversation, because debt buyers, a lot of them are bottom feeders. They buy these debts for pennies on the dollar, and the attorneys that they hire most of the time are punks. So I have less hope for my idea working now. But I'm still going to try it if I'm in your shoes, because A, it's the cheapest way, B, it's the right thing to do to give them a chance to do the right thing before you punch them. But if they won't do the right thing, then they punched you first. They drew first blood. This is Rocky, man. I mean, not Rocky. What's the guy's name? Rambo. They drew first blood, right? Mm-hmm. That's an old movie right there. Old movie reference. But anyway, yeah, if they draw first blood, and they already have, they came after you. You didn't start this fight. You're just a sweet lady in Atlanta, you know? But you know how to finish a fight, don't you?
Doesn't want them to take my $7,000.
You dadgum right you don't take $7,000 because you don't owe them anything. They're not going to take nothing. You're going to take some of them. Exactly. I'm going to take a piece of somebody out of this if they don't back off. But if they'll back off, no harm, no foul. It was just a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. That's fine. But if you're not going to back off, then you're going to find out about Selma. That's the way I'm telling you to handle it, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You know, there's nothing illegal or immoral about buying old bad debts at pennies on the dollar and trying to collect on them. The problem is that there's become a lowest common denominator in the human species that's doing that stuff. Not all debt buyers are that, but enough of them are that the industry is getting stereotyped. Let me give you an example. When someone files a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, that's a total bankruptcy, total liquidation. If you try to collect a debt on them after that bankruptcy, from that bankruptcy, you are violating federal law. You're violating a federal court injunction. And these people buy debts after someone's filed bankruptcy, meaning the balance is now zero, and go and violate federal law through the injunction and try to collect and intimidate people into paying a bill. Or worse than that, they'll do something like Selma, and they'll try to get somebody who it's not even them. Just God help you, had the same name as some goober that didn't pay. Or it's an identity theft product. The product of identity theft. And you get into this mess. So that's what's going on here. And it's a bad deal. That's one of the reasons we recommend Zander Insurance's identity theft protection is they take over this file and do it for you. That's why I carry it on me, my kids, and all my employees. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it, too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable